now.
Hi, Ms. Langwell. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Karen Langwell. I'm the health science teacher here at Women's High School.
Well, that already covered what your job was.
Yeah.
Exactly how did you become the health science teacher here?
Well, first I was a nurse for 6 years prior to this. I don't have any previous or formal teaching education, but due to my experience as a nurse, I was able to come into this position, and on top of that I am required to have extra training that I'm working on now. But my nursing degree and experience were what got me this job.
Okay. Did being a woman in the nursing field, no social barriers like your typical female social barriers can I think of, but did you face any problems like maybe entering the medical field or transferring from the medical field to teaching?
No, I never really came into any gender-based issues as far as entering into any positions. To be honest, nursing is kind of a female-dominated occupation. And then coming into teaching, it wasn't difficult because there's really no gender barriers as becoming a teacher. I had a couple of issues as a nurse with male doctors being a little chauvinistic at times, but that was really my only problem that I ever encountered with a gender barrier.
Do you think that anything had changed? Because you said you were in that field for 6 years, from the beginning to the end. Do you think that you built more of a respect from your doctors, or was there no social change?
Oh yeah, a lot of times people will look at new nurses as maybe inexperienced or not knowing as much, so they don't necessarily expect as much from them. So when they kind of come in and go above and beyond what they're expected of, it can kind of surprise the people that have been in the profession for a long time, or doctors or anybody that's ahead above them.
Do you have any advice that you would either give to a high school student now, like maybe like one of your students like me or my peers, or just to yourself back when you were this age, like coming upon graduation?
Don't necessarily jump straight into, I don't want to tell you don't go to college, but don't necessarily jump into going to college or doing a specific thing because you've been told to. I started out in college not necessarily knowing at all what I wanted to do. I started out with a couple of different majors. I was undecided for about 2 years. And it took me a grand total of about 7 years to get a 2-year degree because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So having a good idea of what you want to do, where is going to help you out in your future. I don't know, but definitely, continue your education. I don't want any of my kids to not go to college or to not go into what they want to do. If you want to go into a profession that's maybe a trade that doesn't require 2 or 4 years of a degree, trades are, boundless and jobs are abundant for those. But if you have a good idea of what you want to be when you grow up, then definitely follow it and take every advantage that your high school has to offer, like the extra courses and college courses that you don't have to pay for, because it's really good to go ahead and have kind of that structure built up before you enter college. You're entering in with a little bit more than some of the other students entering in with you.
Do you have any future plans, like to go back into nursing or to stay here as a high school teacher?
Right now, I'm really happy where I'm at. From the time I went into nursing school and graduated, even when I was in high school, I had some aspirations of working in a school, being a teacher. When I became a nurse, I really wanted to become a school nurse. It required a higher level of degree than I had. So I would possibly consider going above and getting my bachelor's or even my master's. But right now, I'm kind of focused on getting my teaching license.
Okay, could you maybe let us have a step into like your typical day as a teacher? Like, I get up at this time, I have to plan this and do that, and
okay.
Yeah.
So I live in Camden, so it's a nice little drive from there to here, and I also have young kids. So I wake up about 5:30 every morning, although I should probably get up at about 5 in the morning. Because I have to get myself ready, I have to get my 2 little ones ready, and my oldest one I have to get her up and moving to go to school. And I drop my 2 kids off, and then I come to school. I normally get here around 7:30. Sometimes I'm a little bit late, but sometimes the drive catches me. And then I get started. I have first period planning, which is really nice because I can kind of take what maybe I didn't finish the night before at home or the afternoon before here and finish it up for you guys so that you have your notes ready and we have our PowerPoints ready and presentations. And I like to update my board every day to make sure that you guys know what you're doing every day, what kind of notes we're going to be taking, what kind of things we're going to be starting or learning. And then we have classes, second, third, and fourth. I have Health Science 2 in second and fourth, and Health Science 1 in third. So it's a lot of different information, and we go through class, and you guys are out at 3, and so normally by 3:30 I can get out the door, but sometimes we have meetings, or I may have to stay after extra to kind of work on some things for you guys for the following days, because sometimes my home life can get in the way of being able to work at home.
All right, I really appreciate you giving me this time, and I'd love to see you in fourth period. Thank you, Ms. Langwell.
You're welcome.